Thursday students, I want to start with, for this Thursday check-in, with covering the work that you have been doing up to now. So I did look at all of the things you wrote in your introduction to yourself on discussion board, as well as the questionnaire. I really enjoyed reading everything that you all wrote, and you did a great job working with each other, which is good because we are going to continue with that model. We have a couple of things that we'll be doing this semester. One, of course, is discussion board. Another is the use of the flip video, which we're working on this week, and I will touch on that in this video. And then the final way that we are going to be working doing class discussions is through a website called Padlet, which you will be introduced to next week on when the reading response unit opens up on Monday morning at 6 a.m. So right now you've done the introduction questionnaire, you've done your syllabus quiz, I've got all this graded. You are currently working on this critical reading journal. And I want to talk a little bit about that right now. So critical reading in terms of this class is going to be your superpower. Learning to read critically and learning to annotate a text will help you immensely in college. You will just find that you understand the material so much better and that you get much more comfortable reading. So annotating texts we're going to start that. We're actually starting that with your practice reading response flip video. So now this is a very low stakes assignment that I've asked you to basically kind of jump into reading and thinking about a text. In this case, the text is a poem. So again, if we kind of go through some of these critical reading journal questions, I want you to define what you think critical reading is. You listen to the podcast episode, and the podcaster, Mr. Fraley, really kind of dug down deep into this critical reading. And we've covered that. I covered the Menti presentation on this, so this should be you should feel comfortable about this. So now you're going to take some of those tips that you learned, and you're going to apply it to reading this particular poem. Like I said, I know this is just sort of jumping in the deep end, but I think you're all up for it, and I've seen a couple people have already started to put their responses on the flip page. So I'm going to click on this link just so everybody gets comfortable with flip. So I'm going to click on the link, and that's going to take me to something that looks like this for most of us. So you're just going to go and click on this link. This will take us directly to our class's flip page. Again, it's your practice reading response. It's due Sunday. When you click on that, you will be brought directly to this assignment. You want to click on Show More if you want to read through all the questions. Although, if we go back here, let's go back here, click here, all the way down. All of those questions are listed right here in a Word document, and I highly recommend that you go ahead and print these questions out. You want to, before you start making that video, you want to answer those questions so that when you go to make your video, you're pretty organized. And then here is the PDF to the point. So once you have done all of that work, you're going to come here to flip, and you're going to record your video. Video doesn't have to be that long. It can be 1, 2, 3 minutes long. You are going to kind of, in a nutshell, talk about, you don't have to talk about all 7 questions. You can talk about just 1 or 2 things that you see. This is just you getting comfortable talking and writing about literature and discussing it. Once you're done with that, you're going to come and you're going to take a look and you're going to respond to when your classmates post. And so once your classmates start posting, you'll go and watch the videos and you will pick one person to respond to. When you respond, you can respond in writing to them. And I want to see that your response is substantive. You want to have a discussion with your student. And again, don't be shy of making shy of the poem or making the video. It's a way for us to all get to know each other better. Now, I'm going to say that when you get to flip, you want to be sure that you make sure you have your username when you create your profile, that it's a username that I know who you are. That is very important that you choose, you have your name in your username so that I can answer, so I can grade this. And so that we know who's making the post. Now, if you don't feel comfortable having a video of yourself, not everybody likes to have videos of themselves, you can do an audio only, all right? But the big thing is make sure that you have put your username as something that I can recognize. And let me back up. And I said responding to one classmate. You have to respond to two. I'm sorry. It's two classmates for this. All right. So that's your flip video. And the final thing that we're doing this week is this scavenger hunt. So the scavenger hunt, let me click on this. Get this worksheet. Pull this over for you. Okay. So this scavenger hunt is asking you to learn to use your library's databases. So you did this a little bit in 111. It's going to ask you to get comfortable using your library's databases for 112. I'm going to show you, we're going to click into those databases. Again, you want to make sure that you go through your MyCCC portal, and you're going to do 10 searches. Some of them are very specific, like asking you to give me a newspaper article using both of these particular names. Some of them are going to be literary scholarly articles, using some of the scholarly databases. Some of them are reference articles using something like, say, Credo, or I'm going to introduce you to a new database called Bloom's Literature. So bottom line is you're going to give me 10 sources. You're going to find 10 sources. You have till January 18th to do this. And you're going to turn this into a works cited page. Be sure you read this in your instructions. I do not want just a bulleted list. I don't want it to be on this worksheet page. You're going to actually turn it into a properly formatted, MLA formatted works cited page. All right? So let me go ahead and minimize this. Okay. So if we go to get to our library database, I feel like most of you know, but let me go ahead and pull this over here, do a little review. So when we come to our MyCCC portal, we're going to see this library resources. And this, as we know, as we were taught in 111, is how we get to our databases. We are familiar with Credo, most likely. We're probably familiar with NC Live. You can use the one search bar to find articles. But I want to introduce you to two databases in particular. And I will call these out in my announcement for Thursday, my Thursday check-in announcement. I want to introduce you to Bloom's Literature this particular database is very specific to all things literature. So this is going to be really useful to you. Let me get out of this. And the second specific database that I want to bring to your attention is called JSTOR. And like Bloom's Literature, this is a scholarly database looking at, that's humanities focused. So again, you use this search bar just like any other library search bar. All right. So let me go ahead and move this back over here. Get back to our page. All right. So this week, again, you got that critical reading journal due tonight, Thursday, January 11th, and then this practice reading response video due on Sunday night, on January 14th, both your video that you post as well as the two responses. And then you're going to be working behind the scenes on your library scavenger hunt due next week on the 18th. All right, any questions, give me an email.